What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? It's your boy Juice. Welcome in. How you living? How's everything going? Uh, Ready for the holiday season? It's about to be Christmas, and right now I'm on my way to Florida, back home. As you guys know, I've spent most of the year outside of the country. I've been in the beginning of the year. I went to Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, and then I went to Mexico again. Then I went to Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, and now I'm back in Colombia, and now I'm headed back to Florida for the holidays. So it's been an interesting year this year. I'm really happy to be going back home here tomorrow. And yeah, this is good, man. I'm excited to see my family, but I'm a little stressed because usually when it's holiday season, I get really stressed. My head starts to spin around because it's a lot of stuff that you need to do during the holiday season. For example, you got to get gifts for your family. You got to, prepare to make sure that you're getting the right gift for your family. If you were to take away gifts, I would be a lot more, you know, excited for uh, Christmas. But since, Christmas is mainly, gifts, I feel like we're celebrating for the wrong reasons. So, it's mainly about giving gifts as opposed to just being with your family. So I just like the aspect of being with my family the most as opposed to giving gifts. What do you guys think? So guys, what we're going to do today is we're going to focus on some tips to help you speak English more fluently. Okay? So a lot of people are asking me, how do I become more fluent in English? I'm going to give you my first tip. You ready? The first tip that I'm going to give you is to start speaking English as much as possible. You need to be speaking English as much as you can. That's my number one goal for you to be able to speak English fluently. You need to speak. If you don't have a language partner, get a tutor. So it's either you're going to be spending money or get a language exchange partner who's going to help you, and you're going to be able to speak with that language partner. But the thing is, with the language partner, you're going to be having to give them advice, and you're going to have to teach them your native language. So it's a trade-off, right? So I prefer personally to get a tutor. I have a tutor in Spanish, in Portuguese, and in Russian, because I feel like my time is more valuable for the most part for me to be teaching somebody English all day. If I want to learn Russian, I want to be able to learn Russian for 30 minutes to an hour straight, as opposed to, splitting the time. When I'm doing something, I want to focus on it. So if I'm teaching somebody, I would prefer to teach them 100%. And when I'm learning, I would like to learn 100%. So that's why I prefer a tutor. But if you don't have the money, the next best option is to have a language exchange partner. You have apps like Tandem, Hello Talk, italki. All right, so take advantage of these apps. Speak as much as you can. If you can't find a language partner, you need to speak to yourself. People think you're weird. People think they're strange if they speak to themselves. It's okay. I I sometimes speak to myself if I don't have the opportunity to speak with someone in that language. Say something in Spanish. Jules, ¿cómo fue tu día? ¿Qué hiciste? Oh, hice muchas cosas, ¿Qué hice? I'm kind of telling you about my day in Spanish. What did you do today? Tell yourself. Oh, today I woke up at 7 p.m., 7 a.m., 7 p.m. I woke up at 7 a.m. I went to the gym. I got breakfast. I did this. I did. Tell us your day, or tell yourself, what did you do today? Speak. Because the more you speak, the more you'll be able to use the muscles, use the sounds that you don't use in English, that you mainly use in your native language. You need to start moving your mouth, and start getting used to speaking English. You have to speak English. right? So that's my number one goal, for you to speak fluent in English. You need to speak as much as you can. The next tip I'm going to give you guys is to interact with the language every day. You need to be doing something with English every day, whether it's listening to podcasts, whether it's speaking with a partner, like I mentioned in the first tip, whether it's using Duolingo, whether it's reading in English, whether it's watching movies, TV shows in English. So you have a lot of stuff that you can do with English every single day. 5 minutes a day on Duolingo. Listen to a short podcast, 6 minute, 6 minute English or BBC English. You know, um, read a short article in English. Go on my website, hugolane.com, and you have stories on there. So read a story every day. Okay? You have a lot of stuff to do, so you need to use the language every day. 15 minutes minimum, 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes minimum. Do something with the language just so that you don't lose what you learn. Build your vocabulary. On the show notes in the description, I'm going to put the vocabulary list. I always put the vocabulary list for the month on the podcast or in the show notes. So study vocabs. This is going to be the way you need to improve. This is going to be building your fluency, is interacting using the language every single day. Okay? The next tip I'm going to give you guys is work on your pronunciation. If you listen to the last podcast, the last episode, I told you tips to improve your pronunciation. So go back and listen to that podcast, episode 14, or was it 13? Hold on 1 second. I think it was 13. It was episode, oh my goodness, 14. Go back to that episode and listen to what I said on ways to improve your pronunciation. Okay? Shadowing method is going to be a way. So go back to that episode and listen to what I said on ways to build and then work on your pronunciation, just so that you know that you're saying the stuff correctly. Okay? Also, another tip is to know that you're going to feel uncomfortable speaking English. You have to accept that. You have to accept that you're going to feel uncomfortable speaking English. So you got to accept that fact and understand that, okay, I feel uncomfortable speaking English, but you said that I have to accept it, right? And once you accept it, you'll know that it's okay, it's normal. And then you can start making mistakes. You need to make mistakes so someone can correct you. You need to make a lot of mistakes. You need to know that the sounds sound strange. For example, for my Brazilian students and my Spanish speaking students, when you say stop it, it's pronounced stopped. So the sounds that we have in English, you don't have them in your language. Like my Japanese and my Asian students, regularly, and not regularly, but regularly, just accept that it's going to be uncomfortable to say these words, to use these phonetic sounds, and accept that and keep pushing, keep going. Don't stop. Don't get discouraged. It's a marathon. It's not a race, right? To fluency. Don't race to fluency, It's okay. Also, another tip that I'm going to give you guys is to learn phrases instead of just words. So, yes, you can build your vocabulary, but learn how to say phrases. Learn how to say little phrases. I'm going to link a website in the description of the show, just so that you can learn phrases. You can click any word on what I'm going to send you, and you can build your phrase library just so that you can know how to say these phrases. Wow. Oh my goodness. So, Juice is Loose podcast. um, so you could tell I'm a rookie. When somebody is a rookie, that means they're a beginner. So you can tell I'm a beginner podcaster because that's not supposed to happen, and I'm not gonna cut it out. So that's gonna be there. All right. So what was I saying? Um, I forgot what I was saying. So yeah, learn phrases, not just words, because you're gonna build your vocabulary through the words that you learn, and it's better to just learn phrases if you're trying to build your fluency. Now, if you're trying to just build your vocab, just learn the words. But if you're really trying to build the fluency to the way that you want to, you're gonna have to learn phrases and not words. Okay? So guys, I hope that was good for you guys. I hope that you guys understood what I was saying um, on tips to improve your fluency. And before I let you go, guys, since it's almost the end of the month, I want to do some review on the vocabulary words that we have for the month of December. Okay. So, one of the vocabulary words that we have for the month of December is bread and butter. Bread and butter is the main thing, the thing that you're really good at. For example, I can say Denzel Washington's bread and butter is crime movies. He's really good at crime movies. He's really good at playing the villain, for example. He doesn't play the villain all the time, but let's say he was really good at being the villain. I could say that's his bread and butter. Or I can say, you know, John, he works as an engineer and the front end is his bread and butter. That's what he's good at. He's really good at front end. That's his bread and butter. So the next word that we have is look down on, phrasal verb. So when you look down on someone, you feel superior to them. So I can say that the rich people tend to look down on the poor people. Or in America, sometimes Americans look down on Mexicans. So they feel superior to Mexicans. It's not good to look down on people, right? So look down on is when you feel like you're better than other people. Next vocab word or vocab phrase is wrap my head around. Wrap my head around is to understand something. Usually we say wrap my head around is when we're talking about negative stuff. So like I say, I can't wrap my head around the fact that people like soccer. Can't wrap my head around it. Typical American, right? I can't wrap my head around it. What a boring sport. Just playing, guys, just playing. So, wrap my head around is to understand. The next word that we are going to look at is heads up. So, I can say heads up. It's like, look out, like watch out. But in the vocabulary list, heads up is a warning or an update. So, guys, just a heads up. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. China time, I will be doing a live on Hello Talk. Just a heads up. Just an update or just a reminder. Or we can say, heads up, man. Mom's birthday is tomorrow. Don't forget it. Oh, snap. Mom's birthday is tomorrow? Oh, I almost forgot. You know what I'm saying? So just a heads up. Just so you remember. It's like a warning or to be updated on something. Another word that we have for the month of December is to be fed up with. When you're fed up with something, you've had enough of it. You're bored of it. You're tired of it. So I'm fed up with taxes. Or I'm fed up with this traffic. Or I'm fed up with my girlfriend telling me what I should do and what I should not do. I'm fed up with her. Catch my drift? You guys remember what catch my drift is? Understand? Catch my drift? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Catch my drift? Alright guys, you have a great one. If you guys don't hear me this week, Merry Christmas, and I'm gonna catch you guys next week. You have a good rest of your day. All right, peace.